Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's the word? What's going on? How everybody doing out there? Y'all already know what it is, man. We are back again. And it's bonus banger time, y'all. I got a bonus banger. That's a lot. Y'all know I keep a banger. At all times, I keep a banger. Y'all already know that, man. But like I always say before I start these videos off, I have no problem delivering this content to the people that's out there working hard, working a 9 to 5. Everybody that's out there with their own business, getting to that bag the legit way. I make sure y'all got something to watch in the morning times, man. I promise y'all there's no problem on my end. I also have no problem making sure I'm warning y'all and telling y'all about how dangerous prison is. I only ask for one thing in the process, and that's for y'all to just stay out the way. I'm gonna keep saying it, man. I've been saying it for 2 years now, man. I need y'all to stay out the way. I don't want y'all to go through what I've been through, man. I don't want y'all to have to leave your family. I don't want y'all to go in there and have to experience the crazy things that happens in jail, man. I'm letting you know now, man, if you go to jail, it's over with. It's over with for you if you're going there for something serious. Now, if you in there for something weak, it's not nothing that's you're gonna be able to get a bond or something like that, then you're gonna be all right. But nobody wants to go to jail, period, man. Jail is a tough situation, man. I'm letting you know now, man. If you out here breaking the law, change your life around, man. It makes sense to do the right thing these days, man. It's 2026. Unless you want to be one of those dudes that just gonna be like, yo, I'm riding with my hood until it's over with. Now, if you're just gonna ride with your hood until it's over with, then be my guest, man. Because your life is what your life is gonna be. Me, I want a long life, man. I want to see my parents get old. I want to see my siblings get old. Like, I want to get old. Like, I don't know about y'all, man, but that's the life of staying out the way. So you want to live that life? Come on inside, man. Put the hammers down. Put all that beef away, man. Like, all that tension that y'all got over there, leave that over there on that side of the tracks. And come over here to Team Staying Out the Way, y'all. Period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This is a bonus banger. So what did y'all do with this one? Like, share, subscribe, y'all. Let's get it. Let's go. But it's time for business. It's time for business, y'all. And the story I got for y'all today is called We Thought We Had a Good Plan. Part 1. Crazy story, crazy situation, but we are aware, people. We are in penitentiary where crazy things happen all the time, man. And I'm gonna let y'all know now, man. It comes down to us against the officers, man, us against the administration, the inmates. So I'm talking about, like, we're gonna lose every time, man, just because how it's designed, how everything is set up. Like, it's about so much that we can do in there, man. So, like, when it comes to situations like we're not getting along with an officer in there, like, if you ain't gonna crash out and like put your hands on them, which is gonna make your situation much worse, there's really nothing you can do. So when it gets heavy like that, you gotta kind of charge it to the game, man. But I'm telling you, there's just so many a-hole officers in there, man. Sometimes it brings you out your square. So with that being said, though, we on Sussex 2 for this, y'all. We on Sussex 2. And I can remember being in 4 building for this one, y'all. We in 4 building, man. I'm downstairs in 4B. And for real though, like, being in this pod, like, I be talking about this pod in a few stories, but like, this was a pod that, like, me coming into this pod, like, it was already set of people in there that had their own situations going. But like, when I got in there though, it was like, you know, me being a vet that I am, you know, like, it don't take me long to adapt and get used to situations and all of that. So like me, I got in there and I was able to mingle and meet dudes, and there was dudes in there from Norfolk, and I was good and I was in there, man. So I'm like 4 months into 4 building at this time, into 4B, man. So like, the building was sweet, man. I ain't gonna lie. Around this time, the building was sweet, man. There was a lot going on. The red team was extra deep. They was growing. Like, it was just a lot of stuff going on Sussex 2. But for the most part, the camp wasn't ruined at this moment right now, man. So the COs that we used to have working in 4 building, like, majority of the time when I first got over there to 4 building for the first time, it used to be all women. I'm talking about from down to the sergeants to people that's working in there, working the booth, working the floor. It used to be all women. So at one point in time, they end up tearing all these women off. All these women that got knocked off for something, just one by one, they was just out of there. Dudes was bagging them and they was out of there, like, one by one. So as these ladies started leaving, you know what I mean? Like, that's when you started seeing they was hiring new people. Now, the hiring process, as far as on Sussex 2, was way different from Lawrenceville that I witnessed. Because back then on Sussex 2, it was like, You really didn't see them come around like they was training super deep. They got to do this and do that, like how Lawrenceville is. Now, in Sussex too, you wouldn't know somebody was a rookie until you see them in your booth, and then you can see somebody like showing them something. They be like, oh, that's a rookie. So I can remember this one dude, man, like that skipped all of that. He skipped all of that, but he was a new face on the compound. But now, don't get me wrong, like they'll have new officers that'll come up there and work, and you know they might ain't been there in a while. They might have came from another prison. Who knows? But at the end of the day, a new face is a new face. You be thinking they rookies. So there's one dude that came and started working there, man. Like he wasn't really that old. I ain't gonna lie. I give him like his early 30s or something like that, you know. But he had like an older soul looking type of vibe. But when he started working out building, like he was at first he didn't used to say anything to nobody. He was just a quiet dude that'd come, do his rounds, sit in a chair in the office, stay out everybody's way, let everybody do him. He'll smell the la-la. The la-la wouldn't bother him, man. But I gave him about a month of doing that, man. After about a month, like he just started like kind of like just turning up in that joint, man. Like turning up to the point where like he was one of the major officers that was working for a building that would kind of like make your day a little harder, man. The reason why I say that is because like he went from being quiet to that dude that has a voice now. You know what I mean? And like when you see people like that, kind of like not scared of the inmates, like talking junk back, standing up to them, you know, you got to do your job anyway, but like you can tell something different about those type of officers because they're not scared to talk. You will see women doing it, like it'd be crazy situation because you're working in a place where you can get really hurt. You know what I mean? But he was one of those COs. Like, so he'll see him get into it with different inmates, and he'll be talking his junk back. So like he stood his ground, and like he used to stand up to dudes and he didn't care. And after he used to be finished arguing with you, he would write you a charge. So that's what he would do. He became somebody that was writing them cases, man. You know what I mean? So like, you know, around this time, I don't care about a case. This is what, 2004, 5? I don't care about a case right now. I still got a lot of time left to do, man. I got 12 years left, man. You think I care about a case? So that's how I carried it, man. Like I didn't go look for cases, but I didn't care about a case. So when he used to work and he would see me, like, for some reason, he thought that I was like a ringleader. Like, I don't know, this was the second time this happened to me on Lawrenceville too, but like he thought I was a ringleader, and for him to even feel like that is because he started like just beyond just arguing with dudes. He started like being like a detective. He started being somebody that was tearing people off. And like a few dudes was getting tore off, like because a lot of dudes up there back then, we didn't have no microwaves on Sussex too. So a lot of dudes used to have the stinger game. Now the stinger game is something that you create out of an adapter or whatever you make it out of. You can just plug it in your wall, and you got a piece that comes out with a metal piece at the bottom with the wires, and you put that inside a cup, and then you put a cup in the cup, and then you let that water boil. You can boil water out the stinger. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Like we used to cook chilies in the trash can, put the stinger in the trash can with the chili bean and the cut cheese and all that, the squeezed cheese, and just let that junk cook, get hot. Like that's how we used to eat our food. So like everybody used to have stingers, man. I promise you, man. This freaking CO, man, and by the way, I apologize. We're gonna call him CO Mitchell. This freaking dude, man, started coming through and taking everybody's stinger. Like you will see it. Like he'll go on a stinger spree. And if like you wasn't on point, he'll catch you slipping. Like he'll be popping doors, come look in your door. Cause usually you can see if dudes using it because it'd be like on the corner right there. It'd be like in the corner. You can see the cord and all that. So you gotta be on point if he's working. So you'll see him taking dudes' stingers. He got all the stingers piled up on the table. Like he just put work in and he'll just come down and like, you know what I mean? Just be looking like, yeah, like he did something. Like, and to see a younger dude on that type of time, like it was only one thing. He either want to be a sergeant or a lieutenant in the future, or he's just a major cop, man. I couldn't really figure it out, man. But like to be taking out stingers and just doing all type of petty stuff, like, I didn't like it. But he never messed with the la-la. That's what I really didn't care. Like that's why I really didn't care about what he was doing. That stinger thing didn't mean much to me because I didn't know how to make those things. I just used to buy them. You know what I mean? So I didn't really care about it. And he didn't write no charge for it. He'll just take it. So what me and him kind of like got crazy at is when he started messing with that la-la, man. He started messing with that la-la, and it was like the one dude that was in the block that was getting the la-la, he was from Richmond. And when he tore him off, like that was like a whole, like he created, like everybody hated him after that. When he tore that dude off from Richmond, man, I guarantee you everybody hated him, man, because the dude from Richmond was providing the la-la. And like when you get rid of a dude that's in the pod getting the la-la, man, you're gonna have a lot of enemies after that, y'all. So boom. So we all just hate him now. Like every time we see him, he'll come by and ain't nothing. We just look at him like, and he didn't care. He didn't care about none of this stuff. He looking like, yo, I'm doing my job. I don't care about you criminals. That's how he looked at us, like we was really criminals, which we were. But that's how he looked at us. Yeah, all right. Like he used to say stuff like that. So like for real, man, I ain't had no rap for him, man. In the beginning of meeting him, going through my now I'm in the pod for 4 months, but like through the stages of getting to that 4 months, like this is how it was happening. You know what I mean? With this freaking new CO cop that they just moved in, man. So like Mitchell, like he became someone that they trusted to work that building. Like they gave him the keys to the building slightly, like not really the keys to the building, but like he would be the dude that be trusted. Like if it was a fight, he ran into it. Like he was just one of those officers that worked and did his job on the joint. So out of nowhere, man, like I can remember one day we was on lockdown. And when we was on lockdown, like our first week, you know, they'll have us like no movement, no shower, no nothing. They bring your food to your door, all of that. So after they finish shaking you down, they'll call that modified lock, which means you can go take your shower. They might let you get a phone call. Like it depends. Like we transition into getting off lockdown. That's what that means. So I can remember they was passing out the trays and they was doing the top tier, bottom tier. So he's standing downstairs. He doing it himself. He's doing this stuff himself. Now they got the Salisbury tray. This was a side, I'll never forget this. They had the Salisbury steak tray with the gravy game, you know what I mean, with the mashed potato game, with 2 slices of bread with some peas. And I think it was an orange or something like that. But everybody's hungry anyway because we on lockdown. So when they called the top tier, like my cell was like the first couple of cells because I was in cell 25. So when me and my son come down, he opened up the first 3 doors. And that's how he was doing. He was doing the first 3 doors. So he hasn't did the bottom tier yet, but he started on the top tier. So we come down the steps, everybody come down, you know what I mean? Everybody happy to stretch their legs for a hot second. We come down, so people start getting their tray. So as dude got his tray, he dropped the tray. He dropped the Salisbury steak tray, gravy all over the place. So dude Mitchell like, man, how you do that, man? He was like, man, I was trying to grab it, man. He's like, man, see, I can't let none of y'all grab these trays, man. I can't. He went to the booth, got on the walkie-talkie and said something. So I don't know, the lady was like, yo, get somebody to help you. So as he was saying that, I'm still standing, me and my roommate still standing there to get our tray. You know what I mean? So it's a dude in cell 24 that slept next to me that I used to rock with, man. We're going to call him Coop. Now, Coop won't from Norfolk. I ain't going to say what Coop I ain't going to say what Coop was from, man, but Coop won't from Norfolk. But he was a cool dude, about my age, brown skin, had the little fro game, cool, super duper cool. But he was another dude that used to keep his hand in the stuff too. Like, you know what I mean? Like everybody in there was trying to do something at one point, you know what I mean? So like we standing down there waiting to get our tray as he talking to the lady in the booth. Mitchell turned around and was like, hey, y'all want to help me? We was like, we looking at him like, what you mean help you, bro? I would never help you in there. He was like, look, if y'all help me, y'all can stay out here and clean up, and y'all can work, and y'all can pass out the trays at dinner. What's up? And I'm gonna help y'all get some extra food. So he say that, y'all know I'm hungry as I'm like, I looked at Coop looked at me, he was like, yeah, I'll help. I was like, yeah, I'll help. So he was like, all right, y'all stay right here. He was like, look, matter of fact, he told Coop, he said, you get that tray, you get that cart over there, which was another cart that had the food in it. He was like, you take that cart over there and you start at cell 22 and you start passing out the trays over there. I'm gonna tell the lady to open the doors for you up there. And he was like, White, you stand right here and I'm gonna open the doors. People come from the top tier, you hand them their tray. So I'm like, you know, like this wasn't a bad job, but still though, like I'm just looking at it like, you know, I always get in predicaments like this. Like officers be thinking like, yo, like White, you know, like he's a maniac, but still though, like let me get a maniac to help me. You know what I mean? Like I'm always scheming on a money or something like that. So like, I don't know where he's going with this, man, but like you picking me to pass these trays out, man. Like, I'm like, see if he can bring the law, y'all. So boom. And it's hard breaking a cop because he wasn't definitely a cop. So like, I was just joking kind of like within myself. Like, yo, I might get him to bring the law, but I knew that wasn't feasible at the moment, to be honest with y'all. So we helped him do the trays. We passed out the food. After we passed out the food, me and bro sat down there. He threw us an extra Salisbury game. I took it in my cell, shared it with my roommate. You know what I mean? So I'm in the cell for a minute. Now it's about time for dinner. So when dinner rolled around, he popped our door again. I look, he popped my joint and Coop joint. So we came down there and started helping him. So just from that right there, like we became like his lockdown worker. You know what I mean? So this was like the weekend. We was done with lockdown almost, and we supposed to be coming off Monday, but they ended up keeping us to like Wednesday. So like through that whole time of passing food out and stuff, like we became like a worker for him. You know what I mean? So as time went on, you know what I mean? Like a little bit after it was no more trays to be passed out and none of that, like Sussex started like, they started doing it like, yo, for real, everybody ain't gonna be able to go to the child hall, like, because at this time right here, Sussex started having a short of officers. Like they were saying like they had a shortage of officers. Probably every prison in Virginia was saying this around this time, if they're not still saying it, because that's been something they've been saying. Oh, we got a shortage of officers. So them having a shortage of officers kind of canceled out everybody always going to lunch and dinner every day, sometimes even breakfast. So like some of those days you wouldn't go to neither one of them. Some of those days you might go to breakfast. Some of those days it might not be lunch. Some of them days it might not be dinner. It depends. But like they started coming with no staff and all of that. So that's when dudes started getting fed in the building. So every now and then when it was time to feed in the pod, y'all already know who door he was open. He was opening our door. So I'll say like after a while of him doing that, right? I had hollered at Coop the day before and I told Coop, I'm like, yo, I said, man, what's up? What you think about Officer Mitchell though, man? He was like, what you mean? I was like, man, I'm saying like for real though, like man, like he cool, you know what I mean? I was like, you think he'll bring the pack? He was like, who asked him? I ain't asked him. He was like, you asked him, he might lock you up for that jump. I was like, I know. I was trying to see if you was gonna ask him. He was like, no, I ain't asking him, Weezy, man. He was like, man, like we helping him. He was like, I'm just trying to get out the cell though, for real, man. He was like, man, dude, a cop. I was like, man, I already know he a cop, man. But I'm like, at the same time though, bro, I was like, man, we come up with a good plan. You know what I mean? I said, we might can get him to move. You know what I mean? He was like, nah, man, like, I ain't asking him, man. Like, he was like, you ask him. I was like, rock, paper, scissors. He thought about it. He was like, I was like, nah, bro, I'm joking. I ain't doing that. I ain't asking him, bro. He was like, I ain't asking him either, man. So we just left it at that, y'all. So boom. But I went back in the cell and I thought, like, yo, like the ones that's the super cops, those be the ones that bring the pack. Like, those be the ones that are, you know what I mean? Those be the ones. Like I have seen it all. I have seen the good ones, the bad ones, the cop ones, those be the ones, man. So like I felt like we was in a predicament where it was just like spirit of the moment, good luck. The cop dude asked us to help him. Like I was thinking that like maybe this could work, that we can pull up on him. You know what I mean? But still though, like I'm not experiencing like getting a roller at this moment. Like I'm not holding money that can pay for him to do something crazy like that. And exposing that to other people, like I didn't know if I wanted to do that. I didn't know if Coop can do that either. You know what I mean? So like, I just sat back, man, and continued helping this fucking prick. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, man. I sat back and kept helping this prick, and I did it out of coming out the cell. You know what I mean? Like this is stuff that goes on in prison. You know what I mean? Sometimes you might do things that you be like, I would never do, but you did it. You know what I mean? Pause. Not no shake, rattle, and rolling, but you'll do things for the COs that you probably be like you'll never do, man. And like now you're doing it. So we became the dudes that was like his go-tos for any time it was something to pass out. It was like food or anything like that, clean up stuff. Like we automatically was doing that. So he was sitting in the office one day and I had already hollered at Coop. He was like, yo, we gonna go in there and holler at him. Not about the pack, but man, we gonna go in there and holler at him because we was like, yo, we've been working for him for like a month and a half, 2 months now. Like we ain't got no job. So I already knew like when I came to 4 building, like I didn't have a job because it was already people that had jobs there. They already been there, people waiting on jobs. So it was like I couldn't get no gig. But at the same time though, like now that we've been working for him, it's like, man, like we might as well give us a job and call it special assignment. Because I've seen him do that on 2 building, like just make up a jump called special assignment and give dudes a job. And so this is basically what me and bro was doing. So we go in there, he's sitting at the table. We like, I walk in, he see us, he see me first. He like, he made a face like this. He was like, Coop was like, can we sit down? He was like, he was reading a book. He was like, yeah. He backed away from his desk. He was like, how can I help you? He was like, look, man. I said, yo, I ain't gonna lie to you, Officer Mitchell, man. I said, look, you know we've been helping you pass stuff out. We've been doing what we supposed to do. You know, like, can you see if you can get us a job, get on the paper, so we can get paid for this? He was like, it's like you getting paid when you get free food and come out your cell. You don't think that's payment? I'm like, man, like this dude is a tough prick, man. Like for him to say that was wild. Like I'm like, nah, they ain't really doing it. I was like, cause we need commissary. Like, you know, that check you get at the end of the month, like it might don't be nothing but $30, but that's $30 worth of commissary. That's soups, chips, hygiene, a lot of stuff that you can buy. So like dudes be looking forward to a little job check, you know what I mean? Cause you a lot to go to commissary once a month. So I'm like, nah, I'm trying to go to commissary. Like, so like this, we gotta get paid. He was like, I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do, man. I'll see what I could do, man. He was like, you know, I was just in here thinking though, man, like, for one, Coop, he called Coop last name. He was like, for one, what you doing in here? What your crime is? I know what your crime is because I looked it up just now, so don't lie to me. So what you doing in here? Coop was like, Coop looked at him like, you looked it up? He was like, yeah, I just looked y'all stuff up right now. It's on the computer. I was like, hey, what you do that for? He was like, because I can. What you in here for? Coop was like, malicious wounded. He was like, why'd you shoot that man? Coop was like, I don't know, man. He was starting stuff with my people, so that's why I did it. He was like, so 12 years was worth that, huh? 12 years was worth that. You trying to tell me going to jail, coming to prison, coming to Sussex too was worth that, huh? Coop was like, man, ain't nothing worth this, man. So like, that's what it is though, man. That's what I did. Why, what's up? He was like, and why you rob all those people, White? I was like, what? He was like, why you rob all those people out Virginia Beach? I said, man, look, man, I was young, man. I ain't know no better, man. He was like, both of y'all some dumb motherfuckers, man. He was like, for real, y'all don't even supposed to be in this motherfucker. He said, Coop, White, what the fuck are y'all doing in here, man? I'm looking at this dude like, man, who the fuck you talking to? Like, that's what I wanted to say, but I'm just like, how the fuck he get off topic like this? This dude's a lunatic, you know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck? So he like, y'all know why I really choose y'all to work? He's like, why? He was like, because I believe in second chances. And out of all these losers in this pod, he called the whole pod losers. He said, out of all these losers in the pod, I'm the only two that I feel that deserve a second chance. And that's when I gave y'all a chance. Coop was like, man, you need to help passing the trays out, man. He was like, yeah, in the beginning. But didn't I keep popping your door? Didn't I keep popping your door? Coop was like, yeah, you did. He was like, look, I don't give a shit about none of these dudes in this pod. But y'all two, I want to give y'all a second chance, man. I'm going to make sure y'all get that job. You hear me? I'm going to make sure y'all get that job, man. Don't worry about it, man. I'm saying, like, why he had to talk so serious to us like that? Like, I ain't get it. He was like, I'm going to make sure y'all get that job, man. I got y'all. Now get out of here. Got him off the joint, man. We walked out as me and Coop was walking. We got a little bit past the steps. I said, oh, Coop. He was like, what? I said, man, look, I think that nigga might bring that package game, y'all. So boom. Coop was like, man, I know, bro. He was like, you hear that? He really rock with us. Like, man, I know, but like, still though, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't really trust dudes for real, man, because dudes be so sneaky. And like, he might be by the book. And like, the $1 million question is, will he still bring the pack? Like, I won't ask him. You know what I mean? That won't happen, man. But like, we can't really, you know, change who he is. Like, for real. Like, you can still be a cop and get money. I know that. But like, at the end of the day, I still was scared. But I'm like, yo, from that conversation, like, it felt like he had, you know what I mean? He cared about us a little bit. Not saying we needed him to. But like, you know, for him to look up our case and tell us that we were some stupid motherfuckers, which we were, you know what I mean? Like, that meant a little bit to me, a little bit, not a lot. So I was cool with that. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I was cool with that, man. I still wasn't asking him. I still won't ask him, man. So next thing you know, we end up getting a gig. We get the gig, everything was straight down. Me and bro working kind of like whenever we want, special assignment game, all of that. You know what I mean? Like, we eating so good every time they get a tray. It was pathetic. Like, we started to the point where he would send us to the chow hall to get the big cart. The big cart is the cart that has the food in it. You know what I mean? Like, it might have so much food in it that it might be for both pods in one cart. The cart was huge, had double doors, one of those carts, silver joint. So like, he'll send us that, and like, me and bro would be at the joint talking to the kitchen workers hooking us up with special food. Like, everything was planning out. It was going good. We just weren't getting no package yet. So one day, Coop pulled up on me out of nowhere. You know what I mean? He was like, hey, Weezy, I need to holler at you. I'm like, what's up? He like, hey. I was like, man, wait till we come out, man. And like, I was trying to get in the shower. I'm like, bro, wait till we come out and work. He was like, nah, damn. So I go to Coop's cell. He like, yo, he sleep right beside me. It's 24. I'm like, what's up? He was like, man, look. He was like, man, me and Mitchell was having a conversation, man. One of them goddamn back to Africa shits again. You know what I mean? He was down on me, talking shit. But like, man, I told him, man, like, yo, I'm trying to take care of my family. Like, how can you help me take care of my family? You know what I mean? I was like, for real? He was like, yeah. I was like, what he saying? He was like, man, he said, in due time, man, in due time. I said, in due time? I said, what the fuck that's supposed to mean? He was like, I don't know. He was like, man, I'm telling you though, but I got a plan, bro. I was like, what's the plan? He was like, the plan is that we just got to keep being cool with that nigga until he decide to bring the pack. I'm like, man, look, man. I said, you sure? He said, man, look, I think he gonna do it, bro. Like, I really think he gonna do it. My opinion. He was like, he rock with us. He was like, man, I'm just gonna tell him to do something. So, you know what I mean? He's like, man, he rock with us for real. He was like, and then he was like, man, I asked him, man, to bring me something for the street, man. He was like, guess what he brought me? I was like, what? He was like, this. He went in his shirt. I didn't even notice it. And he pulled out this little rope chain that had a cross on it. I was like, he gave you a chain? He was like, yeah. He was like, man, for real, like, I just told him bring me anything. He was like, you like jewelry? I was like, yeah. I was like, he brought you jewelry though, man? He was like, yeah. I was like, that's crazy. I was like, well, he'll bring the pack. He'll bring the pack. He was like, man, I know, man. He was like, wait, we just gotta keep working on him, bro. I said, man, look, we gotta come up with a better plan to see if we can get this guy to move, man. You know what I mean? In the process of that, we hear this young boy coming in. Young boy got a car. He coming in. He got the orange on still, like he coming out the hole. He come into the pod like this. Mitchell like this. Mitchell walking in with him. He like, man, you a fucking bitch, man. I ain't trying to hear that shit, man. You a bitch, man. Bitch. Mitchell like, Yeah, I'm a bitch. I'll show you I'm a bitch. Yeah, I'll show you I'm a bitch, motherfucker. Yeah, I bet you that. I'll bet you that shit, motherfucker. I'll show you. Young boy was like, man, you a bitch, man. I ain't trying to hear that shit, man. You been a bitch, man. Goddamn, he was like, go to your cell. So the young boy put this shit up, like, all right. Young boy moving to cell 3. Young boy put his shit up, come back out, like, man, this nigga a bitch, man. Da. So that I'm watching, the young boy don't really know nobody. He ain't go talk to nobody, so I don't know what the hell is going on. But him and Mitchell is beefing off the top. Young boy come out in the pod, he was like, man, a fat man, I want to get the fuck out of this pond. Man, Mitchell was like, you ain't going nowhere. You stuck in here. He was like, man, you a bitch. I don't want to stay here with your pussy ass, man. You a bitch, man. You a bitch. I don't want to stay here with your pussy ass. I looked over at Coop. Coop was just like this. Coop was like, Coop looked like he was growling, y'all.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.